As Joe Rogan faces cancel culture, Rumble has now stepped in to say they will offer him $100 million for a 4-year deal. And this has everyone talking. It's all over the internet, and it is a huge story. It's a massive story, and I like Rumble. I just recently started posting again on Rumble with my D-Day Cobra channel. I am getting the Geeks and Gamers account set up as well. We'll have Sports Wars over there. I think Rumble is a really good platform. It's not perfect. It has its own problems, but it's still a great alternative for YouTube. So I do think this is good in terms of getting Rumble more attention. I don't necessarily think Joe Rogan's going to take them up on the offer, but at least they made the public offer, putting their money behind, everything that they've been saying and putting themselves out there. So we'll see what ultimately happens. But as you see, it says, Joe Rogan, Dear Joe, we stand with you, your guest, and your legion of fans in desire for real conversation. So we'd like to offer you 100 million reasons to make the world a better place. How about you bring all of your shows to Rumble, both old and new, with no censorship for 100 million bucks over 4 years? This is our chance to save the world. And yes, this is totally legit. Now, there are some problems with this because Rumble, just like all other big tech platforms, has a terms of service. And by their terms of service, some of the episodes that Joe Rogan has had censored on Spotify would in theory be censored on Rumble, but they're saying that there will be no censorship if he takes the deal. So it's kind of a confusing situation. So I guess time will tell how that all works out. Now, to make it even funnier, Odysee has responded with this. Joe Rogan, Dear Joe, we stand with you, your guest, and your legions of fans in desire for real conversation. So we'd like to offer you 100 gazillion reasons to make the world a better place. How about you bring all of your shows to Odysee, both old and new, and no censorship, including criticisms of Israel and Donald Trump, for 100 gazillion bucks over 4 years. So this is it, and this is our chance to save the world. And yes, this is totally legit, and not just a marketing ploy for attention. I love it. I love Odysee. I love how they understand the internet. Now, again, yes, Geeks and Gamers is on Odysee. D-Day Cobra, my D-Day Cobra channel is over there. Sports Wars is over there. RK Outpost is over there. Drunk 3PO, Young Rippa, all my friends. Salty's over there. Everybody's over there. And I love Odysee. Odysee's a great platform. And I've loved everything they've done. But this right here, this tweet is just self-awareness. This is Odysee just understanding the internet and calling out Rumble for what they perceive to be a marketing ploy, which I think is probably true in a lot of ways. But of course, some people can't just simply take a joke. Namely, one Tim Pool. Odysee is so petty, how stupid. No, they're not stupid. They're trying to get attention as well, and they're owning it with self-awareness, and they're also calling out Rumble for their perception of Rumble using a marketing ploy, but trying to cover it in an honest-to-goodness offer. That's all they're doing. It's just being funny. But no, Tim's going to get super offended by this. So, of course, I responded, hey, when is Jack Murphy coming back to Timcast? With a great meme, because it is, in fact, a great meme. Because I really, again, I've said many times on this channel, I'm not a fan of Tim Pool. I respect him. Does a fantastic job. He's done an amazing job of building his own platform and everything like that. Congrats to him. Doesn't mean I have to like him, and I don't. And I said it right here. You're such a beta. It's a fucking joke. It's just a joke, bro. Not that big of a deal. No reason for you to be, calling them stupid and calling them petty. Odysee's doing a great job. If you go to their site, they have a great platform, a great UI, and I'm totally in support of them. But Tim seriously just doesn't have a sense of humor or doesn't understand, meme culture, which is exactly what Odysee is doing. They're just memeing, and I think it's great. So we'll see how this all plays out. The heat is turned up on Joe Rogan right now, and I don't think it's going to slow down. I don't think it's going to slow down at all. Rumble is putting themselves out there. I think it's a good move for Rumble to do this. No doubt about that. I don't think Joe Rogan's going to take them up on the offer, but time will tell. It's a very frustrating situation because if Joe Rogan ultimately gets taken down, they're just going to move on to the next target. If Donald Trump was still around, if Donald Trump was still on Twitter, Donald Trump was still on, Facebook and YouTube and all of that, they would still just be fixated on him, but he's no longer on those platforms. And yes, they'll still cry whenever his name comes up, but he's not someone they can interact with consistently. So now they've moved on to the next target, and the next target is Joe Rogan, unfortunately, but it'll be someone else. They tried to make it Tucker Carlson for a long time. They tried to make it Elon Musk. But it's stuck with Joe Rogan right now, so they're going to stay fixated on that until, of course, they get him taken down, and then they'll move on to the next person to be fake offended over, because this is all about political narratives. That's all it's about. That's all it was ever about. That's all it will ever be about. This is not about being offended over what Joe Rogan said. It's about the fact that he offers something different than the mainstream. The mainstream can't compete with Joe Rogan. So what did they do with Parler? When you couldn't compete with something, you just tried to take it down completely. That's exactly what's going on with Joe Rogan right now. They just want to take him down because they can't compete with him. And ultimately, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we all need to start paying attention to it. And I say this as someone that doesn't really listen to Rogan consistently. I mean, obviously, I respect the man. I don't dislike Rogan like I dislike Tim Pool, but I respect both of these guys for different reasons. But so I'm not a consistent listener or anything of the Joe Rogan experience. I used to, the main access I would have to him is when it would show up in my recommended feed on YouTube, and I would see a lot of Joe Rogan's clips that way. I've never sat down and listened to an entire episode of the Joe Rogan experience. It's just not my cup of tea. Not for me. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Thank you for supporting us on all of our different channels and everything like that. As a matter of fact, if you go over to geeksandgamers.com, our website, if you go to channels right here, that gives you a list of all of the Geeks and Gamers related channels. Obviously, the main channels: Sports Wars, Gaming with Geeks, Park Hoppin', Poor Choices, Geeks and Gamers Clips, and Geeks and Gamers Live. That's all of the mainline Geeks and Gamers channels right there. So there's a lot of different content that you can, find, and some of it you'll like, some of it you won't like, but I promise you'll find something that you do like. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.